let's talk about reptile buffs, all right? Because our character needs a little bit of love, all right? So let's talk a little bit about reptile buffs. We're gonna go into the lab. So reptile buffs. The first buff, all right? The first thing that, without question, if anyone disputes this, your opinion on Reptile and probably Mortal Kombat 1 as a whole is irrelevant to me. It makes no sense. Because if you dispute this first thing I'm going to say, we can't even have a conversation. The first thing, all right, is invisibility, all right? Regular invisibility. For one thing, the input's that bad, but whatever. Down, up, 4, right? He stays invisible for 5 seconds, all right? Now, if you exit, what changes? What changes? He stays invisible for 5 seconds. Absolutely nothing changes, all right? I've tested. We get no increased damage. We get no increased duration of invisibility. We get no armor. It still goes away on hit or block. Nothing changes about EX invisibility. So that is the first thing. That's the first thing that needs to be changed, all right? EX invisibility needs to serve a purpose, all right? Now, what should that purpose be? I don't know. There's a lot of options. I think one option, make it do more damage. Make it do more damage. That's one option. Make it 2 bars and half the time. What does that even mean, Foxy? What does that make it 2 bars and half the time? So let's burn 2 bars to get 2.5 seconds of invisibility. Yeah, okay. So the first thing, we need a buff for EX invisibility. We need likely something. My proposal is a damage increase, increased duration of invisibility. Perhaps, okay, this one would be really good. This one might be too good, maybe, but it would be really fucking fun. Would be give him a hit of armor, and not like on startup, like as he's invisible. Like he gets 1 hit of armor as he's invisible. If you EX it, that would make him fucking fun as shit. So they could do that. The other thing is, at least like they could make it not go away, like he stays invisible on block or something like that. But I think the obvious buff that he should get is just make him get more damage. All right, make him get more damage and maybe make it stay longer. If they let him get a hit of armor while he's invisible, though, I think that would be my favorite. That would be my favorite potential buff for him if they did that. But that's the main thing, all right? That's the main thing that needs to be changed when it comes to Reptile's invisibility, because as of right now, the EX invisibility literally serves no purpose, to my knowledge. Like, all it does is waste a bar. Another thing, his back 3-1, sometimes at max range, especially like based on like the hitbox thing, sometimes like the way it hits them or some shit, sometimes your back 3 will connect and then the next portion whiffs. I'd like that adjusted. If my back 3 hits, I would like the next portion of that move to hit. The other one, forward 2-3. This happens as well with this move. Sometimes the forward 2 will connect and then the 3 will not hit, like that, right? The forward 2 will connect and then the 3 will drop. That needs to be adjusted. That's not even like a buff, honestly. That's an adjustment. Like, that shit should not happen. If I'm hitting you with my forward 2, you should be getting hit, all right? You should be getting launched, whatever. I think that's fair. And at a base level, I think those are the things that 100% need to be adjusted, all right? That needs to be adjusted. Like, there's no reason that should hit and the second part whiffs. There should be no reason this hits and then the next part whiffs. That shouldn't be changed. This guy says reduce forward 2 rage. Got it. You know, God. Yeah, okay. So that should be adjusted. Those are like, I would say, undisputed things, in my opinion, that should be addressed. Outside of that, there's like wants. There's wants that I have for Reptile. Like, I don't think this string should have a gap. This string, I think they should plug the gap, honestly. If the opponent reversals death roll, I don't think that should have a gap. I think that needs to be adjusted. Get rid of the gap. That sucks. I think this move, his stand 3, I don't really like how it sucks you in like that. I prefer it just so you can actually use it as a footsie tool that doesn't suck them in. Make it not suck them in. Change that too. Change that as well. Another thing that definitely needs to be adjusted. This fucking shit. This, I think, his enhanced spit. I think his enhanced spit should either... So it does 9%, right? It does 9%. It has great range, but generally it doesn't really serve much of a purpose. It has great range. It does 9%. The regular one does 6, but there's not a whole lot of reason to be using it. I think this should either be a restand so that you could do like a combo into that and then restand them, something like that, and then you have like frame advantage and stuff like that. That would be cool. Or make it at least do like some dot damage or something, you know? Maybe make it do like another like 5% unscaled dot damage or something like that if you end a combo with it, or something like that. I think right now this doesn't really serve much of a purpose. It's kind of just ass. I think the recovery on his force balls could be slowed down a little bit. It's a little bit too easy sometimes to like just jump over and kill people when you're sending out some of these force balls. I think they could reduce the recovery a little bit. Not a lot, but reduce it a little bit. Something like that, to be honest. Those are like the main stuff. Honestly, like it would be nice if you got more busted stuff, because some of these characters in this game, they have a lot of busted stuff. Like for one thing, like this overhead, -13, make it -5. -5. That's all I want. -5 overhead, splats them down. A lot of other characters got that shit. Some characters got safe overheads. Make it -5. Make it -5. And this one, I don't know, do something to make it better too. This is fine. The fact that it takes 46 frames to start up, that's fine. Charge overhead combo window? Nah, I think it's fine. Like, that's fine. That's fine. And then another thing that they could give him is, I would say, force balls. Don't make them scale so hard. There's combos in this game with this character that, like, if you do more force balls, like, in a combo, for example, if I hit someone with, like, this. If I do a force ball, and then this, I'm getting 293, right? If I do this, and then I just go into this, I'm getting 297. The force ball is scaling my combo. Like, I'm getting less damage for it, and it scales it really hard when it comes to, like, fatal blows. Stuff like that. I think that should be adjusted to not scale so hard. Those are the main stuff. Honestly, those are the main stuff. If they wanted to give him more stuff, they can make this, like, a safer move, but that could be a little bit cheap, honestly. But that's, like, the main stuff, I think. That's the main stuff. I think if they gave him that, I would be at least momentarily satisfied. I'd be at least momentarily satisfied. But that's the main stuff right now for Reptile. If they could do more with him, but I don't want to ask for, like, too much and sound like I'm whining. But what do you guys think? You guys think that's fair? You guys think that's, you know, let's get more broken shit? If they want to make more broken shit, here's some broken shit stuff. I would say you want to make him broke. 4-2-1 mid overhead. That it looks like overhead. It looks like one. 4-3-1 mid high overhead. If you really want to make him busted, all right. Make that second part an overhead, all right? If you want to make him more busted, make that second part overhead. Give EX dash armor if you really want to make him busted, or make it so that, like, you need to armor through it to punish him, and no, like, flawless blocking punishing type of stuff. And I think that would be pretty good, honestly. I'd be pretty satisfied with him at that point. I'd be pretty satisfied. Like, the main stuff is just make it so that if you hit this, the second part needs to always hit. Against Reptile, when he's stationary, it does, but sometimes as they're moving and stuff like that, I've had many occurrences where my back 3 hits and then the 1 whiffs. And, like, this should always hit on the second part. It shouldn't be doing stuff like that. it's kind of wonky in my opinion. That's kind of wonky. And yeah, the EX invisibility 100% needs to have a real buff to it. Like if they made it so that he gets a hit of armor as he's invisible, that would probably be my buff of choice. Give him, and not on startup, but like as he's invisible, 1 hit of armor, so that you know you can really mess people up. That's the main stuff. So let me know if you guys are watching on YouTube what you guys think of my proposed changes. I'm not trying to say anything too wild with, like, you know, the main stuff being invisibility, EX needing something. I think buffing his acid spit, especially the enhanced version of it somehow, either dot damage or restand, would be really good. Fix his whiffing string issues with the back 3-1, with the forward 2-3. Just fix the whiffing issues on that on hit. Those are the main stuff. And then yeah, if you wanted to go into like some other stuff to make him like really good, then we could talk about, you know, potential closing gap of back 3-1. We could talk about making the overhead regularly safe, giving him an overhead and a string. That could be nice. Making stand 3 on block not suck them in and just make them still stay at that range that you would ideally want them to be at. That kind of stuff. And then yeah, and then a little bit of damage buff, a little bit of reduced scaling on the force balls. I think if he got that, like he'd be in a good spot. He'd be in a good spot in this game. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you guys watching the video.